Good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl, Stephanie Robles. As you can see, yes, there is a plane going over my head. One. Two, I am feeling, your girl is feeling much better. Look at that. I got my hashtag fierce shirt on. Sometimes graphic tees are a must to help you power through your day. But let's get to what I was talking about, breaking down the kids' language. If anything, this that I have learned through this deployment, it is understanding the kid language. I have a preteen, and oh, there we go. Sorry, lost connection. I didn't think I could understand my children. I wasn't understanding how they felt, what they were going through, and it surprised me. I had to get creative as a parent. As a parent, you always want your children to come and talk to you, and sometimes I think the difficulties of trying to navigate the whole boundary of being a parent versus trying to make them comfortable enough to talk to you and explain their feelings, because I'm a girl. Like, who wants to talk to their mom about what girlfriends? And I mean, I tackled some really like crazy stuff, at least in my eyes, because I've never been in that situation before. And what I found out, I had taken them to their therapy class, because I take my boys to therapy. They have ADHD. You guys know that. But the thing that they do I noticed a correlation, which is really smart. When the therapist was asking the kids questions, he would always put toys around them. And then he would talk to them while they were playing with the toys. So it was a way to kind of distract a little bit, to not put them on the spot, which I thought was really interesting and pretty cool way to ask a kid what's going on in their life, and then being able to properly, kind of tell what's going on. Why are you feeling like this? Whatever. And them not feel embarrassed about the whole situation. So I learned that from them. So what I started doing was, you guys know I play video games with my kids. Whatever games they wanted to play, that's what we did. We played some video games, and then while we were playing video games, I would kind of let them take over, let them take the lead and kind of step back a little bit. And we started kind of talking, developing a little deeper bond, because they started opening up to me. Finally, I'm hearing about girlfriends. Yes, I slightly deep down inside was like having a freak out moment, because I'm like, holy poop. My kid is talking about a girlfriend, and like, he was nervous. I saw the perspire on his nose. Like, he was really nervous. He thought I was gonna like flip out and freak out, and I didn't. So it was pretty cool that he was able to kind of talk to me about that, and I was able to kind of breathe, rinse, repeat, because that's like something no mom ever wants to hear, like holy poop. And kind of get through that, and kind of talk to him about being a big brother and the downfalls of what that entails, but getting a perspective on what's going on in his world. And seeing how he misses his dad, the deployment, sometimes that's pretty hard as a parent, because, I can only imagine what my husband's going through, because he's missing all these little moments with them. So then it's like I'm trying to kind of make everything sort of kind of as normal as possible, because that's really what I'm doing. And it's not normal, because he's the one that used to go out every Saturday or Sunday and go wash cars, cut the grass, do those things with the boys and play basketball. So I kind of tried to do the same thing. And slowly but surely, I started noticing the boys starting to take over that chore. Since their father wasn't home, they stepped up and started doing that. But to actually even go a step further and even involve the girls, I mean, they're two. So there was sort of kind of running, and then sort of kind of going back in their stroller to keep them down. But just involving them in everyday things. Like, I would come home and Gabriel, my youngest boy, would be outside, and every time I would, come home or do something, he would be outside waiting to hand grocery bags, or he would get out first to help me with the grocery bags, and my oldest would bring the girls inside. And I think the hardest part about that is, I don't want to put so much on their plate that they miss that chance of being a kid. Growing up being a kind of from a broken home, like I had to step up. One sister would go off and get married, the other sister would kind of take over. You were babysitter, cooking, cleaning, and all of that, while my mom was working and going to school and doing those things. So I didn't want to overburden him with, like, okay, I have toddler twins, so then I need your help doing this while I cook dinner, or while I do this and while I do that. Like, I just wanted him to kind of feel like a kid, just be a normal kid. Like, you shouldn't have to worry so much. And the sad revelation is that kids they really do worry about those things. I mean, I didn't really realize how much he was worried about what was going on while his father was deployed. He would hear things, kids would hear things. And he came home one day just crying because a kid had said something. He had overheard their parents talking about where my husband was, and he was crying. And we had to have a conversation. Well, we both did, because I had to message him and then kind of so that we could have that conversation. And I think it helped having him be able to say something. Instead of him just kind of shutting down, he would go to his room, he wouldn't talk to me, where now he's really having conversations with me. He's opening up and we're able to have a dialogue. So I kind of think that this deployment really did help our relationship between mother and son, because he's able to talk to me and open up more and talk about his emotions. I noticed that some of the things that the teachers even implement in school, I didn't know would be an easy thing. She had said something about sometimes giving a kid a notebook or a piece of paper so that they're able to write what they did wrong, versus saying something that would kind of help someone admit to whatever they did wrong. Like something dumb like who stuck their finger in a pie, and just doing little things like that you want to control, because we're parents and we're running around, so we can't keep our eyes open like 24/7. Like who did this, who did that? Noticing that if I gave them a piece of paper and he would write down, okay, this is what happened, this is what was going on, then they would admit to it, versus like not saying it. Everybody was blaming each other. Those things like helped a lot. They really did. Being able to spend that time, them opening up to me and telling me how they felt, and kind of telling them, my mother always said, there is a way to say things to people, but you could say it in a respectful way. As long as you're respectful about it, you could say anything to anybody. You just have to be respectful about how you go about doing it. So I have kind of passed on that same thought process to the boys. And then it's helped them open up more. That I'm seeing them doing things, having Alex, one night a week, I'll have him cook dinner. And it could be something simple like a grilled cheese sandwich with some baked potatoes and juice. Something simple, something making it, taking the focus off of me and my craziness and just putting it on the kids. Or having him help Gabriel with something, a little task that they need to be done. Like, it's really amazing just to see them open up with a little bit, letting them take over and lead, basically. And just by letting them do that, how much I'm getting to bond with the boys. So I think I broke the code. I think I broke the kid code, because they weren't really talking to me. They just wanted their dad. And then they would go to my mom, which I love my mom, because I'd rather my kids talk to anybody. If they could talk to grandma about what's going on in their lives, I'm good with that. They could talk to grandpa, I'm good with that. Because sometimes boys just want a guy. And but I really felt kind of bad as a parent because I want to know what's going on in their lives. But sometimes we got to step back and kind of get tricky with it a little bit. I learned that my oldest is definitely when he's very emotional and he thinks a lot. He's a lot in his head. And I kind of use the 5 love languages. I think I talked about it before, but it really does help, as well. And they have a military edition, kid edition and a military edition. So it definitely helped. So he's like definitely a words of affirmation type of guy. So it's definitely really helped me kind of connect with him as well. Doing those activities. I'm not doing no trust fall. I tell you that much. I ain't because he's going to let me fall. I just know it. But Gabriel is more of a physical hands-on type of person. He's a physical touch type of person. So just going outside, playing basketball, letting him take the lead in that really helped him kind of come out of his shell a little bit. My little guy is going to be going to elementary school, so he's a little apprehensive since my oldest son, they would go walking together. So now he's got to transition. So that's another obstacle we'll tackle. At least my husband will be home for that, so we can deal with that part of it. And it's just amazing. I think I finally understand that kid code. Finally got them to be able to trust me enough. If we're having girlfriend talks, then I think I broke the code down with my middle preteen. They say preteens, like as they get older, it's going to get more difficult. After 2, there's terrible 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like it just doesn't get better per what parents have said. So I'm just taking it. I'm kind of winging it. Like when they say that it takes a village to raise kids, like they are not joking. Like, and the one thing I noticed about children today, like they're really smart. They're so tuned in to everything and they observe things. They're watchers. They even observe your body language. They can tell just by looking at your face what's going on with you. Kids today are just really, really smart. They're really smart and they can tell what's going on just by being in the room. They're very observant. They're very smart. And it doesn't even matter what age they are. And even they could just feel the undercurrent and read between the lines better than some adults do, which was really amazing. As much as we try to hide things as parents because you want to protect them from that, I actually learned more about them and learned more from them. And I think kids like to teach us as parents. They like to teach us things too. Learning how to relate to them and kind of just getting in the mix, getting in the trenches. I think it was definitely an eye-opening experience. We laughed so much. And I'm not saying we didn't have our bad days, but I'm saying I think I'm getting there. And I think that's the important thing. As long as I'm able to have a conversation with them and feel like they're listening, it makes you feel good. As a parent, it makes you feel good. And then understanding that whatever's going on in their world. So it makes you feel good. You're like, dang, yes, I'm doing pretty good as a parent. So I just kind of wanted to come on and talk about, some of the things that I learned about myself. I learned about the boys. I learned about the girls. I'm learning too much. My Naya is just like my mom. She is all about lipstick and getting her hair done. And yeah, the conversations with that little one, and she's only 2. I'm going to be in deep trouble with that one. And little Maya is just, she's so sweet. She's just the sweetest little kid. She hugs everybody. Like, she just hugs everybody. She loves to hug. and she's so sweet. She's a little bit, I don't want to say slower, because when you have twins, one's more advanced than the other one, but they kind of play off each other. Maya's more technical. She's really in her head and she likes to figure things out. And Naya is like all muscle. She's all muscle, all girl. Forget it. Like, it's amazing to see the different personalities that your children have and kind of just be able to, hey. All right, guys. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday. It's the weekend. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the afternoon. I'm going to go in here and have some fun with the kids. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.